I saved myself $100 by doing this myself. Sometimes things just don't go as planned because I was not ready to spend $2,000 in one shot.
He's relaxed. He's totally relaxed right now. Oh, yeah, that's money.
It had a psychotic episode from walking around looking for brass ducks all day long.
Quick, act inconspicuous.
This will probably be my last scavenger hunt for the remainder of my existence on this earth. Man, how time flies. Has it been 5,000 miles already? Turns out it has. We're almost at 80,000 miles, and it's that time again to take Big Blue in to get some service work, and this one might be a little bit expensive. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Right now, I like to do what I always do before I take the truck in for service, and that's get it really, really clean. I believe if you take a clean vehicle in for service, they're a lot more likely to treat your truck just a little bit better because you show you take some pride in it. So we're gonna get the inside of this thing detailed really good. I got my helper here to help me because it's getting the full treatment. It's been a while since we did a really good scrub down on the inside. So we're gonna jump into that, take care of a couple other things, and we are on our way to the dealer to get some service done.
Candy and blonde hair in here is scary. I don't know whose it is. You ever seen one of these hair scrapers, little hootis? I had this in our house, our stick and brick house. We had carpeted stairs, and I did it to get the hair because a vacuum just won't touch it, won't do anything. So I use it for what little carpet we have in the camper, but it's doing an incredible job in here for what the vacuum can't hit.
If you love your truck, you got to take good care of it because it takes good care of you. Our truck is no exception, but whenever you take your vehicle to a shop, you should expect for them to try to upsell you things. And a lot of times it's things that you can easily do yourself, like wiper blades or air filters. I know it's time to change my air filters because I keep track of my mileage. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this today before Ange takes the truck to the shop, because it's just one less awkward question for her to have to answer, even though the last time I sent her in, I had just changed these filters the day before. They still tried to sell her filters.
You can trust me.
Okay.
Did I miss it again? I could have just come here the first time. Mainly just the oil change.
Okay. So you don't want us to check the air box or nothing like that either, or do you want us to just do what we normally do?
We don't need wipers, we don't need brakes, we don't need air filters or cabin filters. Just say no.
Filters are good.
So no filters, gotcha.
We just did that.
Your air filter, kind of dirty.
But if you know what you got, there's no question. So I just went to the local O'Reilly's, picked up a couple of Ford Motorcraft filters, one for the air filter for the engine, one for the cabin filter for the inside. I'm gonna swap these out real quick. So I've showed this on the channel before, but the cabin filter for an F350 is right back here. So we just pop this out, ignore my mess. This is really bad. You guys are seeing good, bad, and ugly. So you gotta let the glove box all the way down. There it goes. So, not as easy as it looks, not as hard as it seems. The air filter for the cabin is right back here. New cabin filter. Find the screws that you just took off.
I'm not laughing at you.
The reality is irritating and messy of a little job as this is, a dealership's going to charge you an hour of labor. So you saved yourself $100, or I saved myself $100 by doing this myself. Now while Ange cleans up all this mess, I'm going to go change the air filter under the hood.
I'm not feeling well. Is it a fork?
That was a fork. You were looking for one here a while back. Guess you should clean your truck out more often. This isn't hard, but it's way too many steps to change a simple filter. And I'll let you take care of all this mess.
Wah, wah, wah.
Fix it back how you want it. Let's go into the hood and change this air filter.
You weren't joking.
This one's pretty simple. Just pop the clips, pull her back. Not horrible, but that's about as bad as I want to let it get, because for optimum fuel efficiency and power, you got to have good clean airflow, good fuel, and a good spark, and we know we've got the other two, so we're going to knock this out. We'll give you the full rundown on what we did, why we did it, and how much it cost in just a little bit.
Too much money. Big Blue is on her way home. They offered to just deliver it for us since we're right down the road. So she should be arriving any moment. There she is. Welcome home, Blue. Welcome home.
Sometimes things just don't go as planned. Ange ran the truck down to get it serviced this morning. We're pushing 80,000 miles, so we knew it was time for another transmission service, and I also wanted to get the front and rear differential serviced along with the transfer case. I knew this was all going to be very, very expensive. This almost turned into $2,000 worth of maintenance, which is a lot more than what I was expecting to spend. The dealership did call and give us a heads up after we dropped it off and said, this is going to be like $1,800 or $1,900. I asked for a little bit of clarification because I know an oil change is usually about $100, 100 to 150. The last time we had the transmission service down in North Carolina, that was around $450, somewhere in there. So things just weren't adding up. As it turns out, the dealership we're at, and this isn't the girl's fault, but their labor rate's $200 an hour. So to get the differentials flushed along with the transfer case was going to be well over $1,000 on its own. I told them to nix that. That's something I can either do myself or I can price around and get a little bit better deal. Not a super urgent service. So the transmission flush and the oil change is supposed to be right around $500, which sounded right. But then they called us back and said, well, we forgot to figure in parts on this, so your transmission service is going to be like $750. We're headed to Tupelo, Mississippi next week. I made a quick call up there. They agreed to do my transmission flush for $400. So we saved a little bit of money there. I'll probably take care of the differential services myself, or at least call and shop that price around, because it's not a hard job. It shouldn't take that much labor. It just kind of is what it is. So as much as I hate to defer maintenance, we're going to defer maintenance because I was not ready to spend $2,000 in one shot. On top of that, we found out that our brakes are finally getting into the yellow. I've been telling you guys since this truck was new, I don't know how we have brakes left because of all the brake dust I'm always cleaning off of this thing. But the brakes on the front are at 6 millimeters, so they're in the yellow. Needs attention soon. So I'll be planning a brake job for the next time I get to a campground that'll let me work on my truck. Aside from that, clean bill of health on Big Blue. We'll follow up on the rest of this stuff later.
Good boy, Charlie. You got her roots.
So now that I've got my work done for the day and we got our truck work done for the day, figured this might be a nice time to enjoy this great walking trail here behind the campground, get the dogs a little exercise. Eris had to swim a little bit, which was interesting. So yeah, I like campgrounds that have great hiking trails right there on them, especially on the shorter days, which now we're into daylight savings time. We have longer days again, but especially on those short days, just somewhere to go on lunch hour, after work, get out, get some fresh air, let the dogs do their thing. It's really nice. Somebody didn't make it up the hill. Who was it?
He's old. He's retired. He's done.
He's done.
He's relaxed. He's totally relaxed right now.
What are you eating? It looks terrible. It smells terrible. It's not meat or potatoes.
Pickled beets.
Ugh.
Mom used to make me pickled beets.
My mom did?
My mom did when she loved me. Now I have to eat store-bought beets.
Yeah, they don't smell good though. That's the problem. They smell terrible.
Like a rainbow in a jar. It's that time of year. My makeup. I can't get anything out of it. And as much as I spend on these, I want to get every drop that I can. And that's how you beat the system, right? So I'm trying to find something that I can cut this with before Cody comes out here to see what I'm doing in his tools. Here, tools. What are you? What is this? And how do you work? How do you work? Oh, I don't think this will do it. Now, how do I make you go back? Oh, I think I found what I'm looking for. You can do it. Oh, it's the sound of money. Oh, yeah, that's money. Oh, yeah. Look at that, baby. That is 2 weeks worth of freebies. Make sure and hit that like button. Find out other cost-saving tips. Gotta get all the makeup off these pliers. I was never here. Ow! I think you were over here somewhere. We're going to Huntsville, Alabama.
To hunt some ducks.
To hunt some ducks.
So we just got the first duck, which is Jeeves, and I'm thinking we should have went and did Jeeves last, because when we're done, if we find them all, we have to come back and pick up our prize back here at the visitor center. But we have to do it all in a day.
Well, seeing as how there's a parade going on right there, we're gonna go to the opposite side of town and we'll just come back to this.
They do have a great website, and we'll link that in the description because it kind of gives you hints on where to find them and stuff like that. So kind of a fun thing to do. The rain's gone. We'll get out and see some downtown stuff today. You're a lot better at puzzles than I am. But luckily, it gives you GPS directions to the nearest parking place next to it. Can't get to any of this. None of it. This is Big Spring International Park, and this is where we're going to find duck number 2. The whole city's shut down today with events and parades and stuff like that, so we said to heck with it. We paid $5 to park in a garage, and we're going to try to do most of this on foot, so wish us luck.
What's a duck's favorite state?
Are we doing this again? I don't know.
Dakota. This is very similar to what we did in Dothan with the peanuts. The only difference is the peanuts were huge and easy to find, and these little ducks
Are not.
easy to find.
Where he makes his own quacktacular masterpieces. Hey, there he is.
Yay! What kind of eggs do naughty ducks lay? Deviled eggs. When is roast duck bad for your health?
Always, probably.
When you're the duck.
All right, then. Clue 2 is a very lucky girl is friends with this ducky. There he is.
Splash.
That's Splash.
I'm not reading all that. I'm not doing it. You can feel a little bit of the heat. What did the lawyer say in court?
That it should be illegal to do this much walking on a Saturday.
I demand an explanation. Explanation? Hang on. Cody's a country boy.
My spot near the ginkgo tree. What's a ginkgo tree?
I have no idea. Anybody?
So it's
ginkgo tree? Are you a ginkgo tree? You a ginkgo tree? Are you a ginkgo tree? Are you a ginkgo tree? Are any of you ginkgo trees? This has turned out to be a lot more difficult and complicated than we expected.
Yeah, this seemed like it was just going to be a fun scavenger hunt.
You're saying that we started something and it became complicated, and
Yeah.
there's a ton of people, so we're just gonna battle our way through. Move out of the way, people. We have a duck to find. We just totally cheated. We were on top of it, so we checked in and it let us select it.
Because on the app, when you find the duck, you have to check in on the app.
Why did the duck get arrested?
It had a psychotic episode from walking around looking for brass ducks all day long. Lost its mind.
He was a quack
Started
at it.
pecking people.
There's a lady sitting on the bench where we need to be. We're just gonna sneak up behind her.
You're gonna go freak her out, aren't you?
Quick, act inconspicuous.
I'm gonna stand over here and look at the fountain while Ange annoys some other tourist. Because everyone's inconspicuous walking around with the GoPro on a stick. Okay, so we have 6 out of 15 so far. All right, so we're gonna go find Huntington the duck.
Huntington.
And let's get some directions and hope Google Maps works good today. This has been a wild goose chase. Aside from having to deal with the technology side of it, this is awesome. Having to navigate it is not awesome. I think if you were from here or knew somebody from here, it'd be really easy. This will probably be my last scavenger hunt for the remainder of my existence on this earth.
You heard it here first, folks.
Of course, proof positive that she does it too.
Were you talking to it while I was in there?
I told you guys she does it too.
My mic was on.
Look how funny that is. Ha ha ha, Angela went to the bathroom. Ha 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 ha. Let's make a big deal about it on YouTube.
What kind of plans did two ducks make on their date night?
Probably to eat corn chips and bugs, I don't know.
They decided to wing it. Sounds like us.
We got something in common with them, that's for sure.
Right there.
So I thought I found it because it said it was to the left of the Fountain Bluff, so I was thinking right there. But I think those are live ducks, I'm pretty sure. But Angela spotted it and she thinks it's up here.
Harrison Brothers Hardware was established in 1879, the oldest operating hardware store in Alabama. Here on Franklin Street, it's lined with historical markers and old buildings, and they're all really beautiful architecture. This would be a neat place just to stroll.
It is really pretty here.
This is
The whole
beautiful.
state that I've seen is nice, but Huntsville's a really cool spot.
What kind of TV shows do ducks like to watch? Documentaries.
Oh, I was gonna say DuckTales. That's what I always watched as a kid. It just seems natural. I have a feeling we've walked enough steps to walk off whatever ridiculous meal we're about to eat.
Is that a challenge? I do feel like this experiment has helped us see the city 3 or 4 times.
It's not about seeing the ducks, it's about seeing the city, and it is beautiful. But I feel like we have walked through most of this at least twice.
Sometimes we get in areas where we don't feel safe and we bail.
This is not one of those places.
I haven't felt unsafe anywhere we've been. There's people everywhere. It's nice. We're taking a quick break to find our truck.
Mainly because the last 3 ducks are like a 25-minute walk towards the other end of town. So we're thinking we'll grab the truck, we'll go find the last 3 ducks. We'll find a bite to eat, but first we have to find the truck.
We found another couple that was lost as well. And the signage was really confusing, and so we all got in the elevator and we just all kind of sat in there
She
for a
kept
little
hitting
while.
level 1 and the doors just kept popping back open. We're like, I guess
So
we're on
then we
level 1.
closed the doors and just all sat there and stared at the door for a little bit until we decided to get out.
Maybe it's in here.
As much as we walked around the dot, we're thinking we're underneath it.
Well, by the time it figures out that we're walking away, because we're underground, so it's not picking up a signal.
So we're gonna walk up.
Thank you, Ford Pass, for doing what Google Maps or Apple Maps couldn't do and find my parking locations.
I see ducks in that Jeep. Lots of ducks. 4 hours of duck hunting's a lot. And the St. Patty's Day festivities are starting. So we're gonna go get our prize.
I want to see how many steps we've walked.
And then we're gonna go eat. And then we're gonna be done with this.
Yeah, so we've already done like over 10, we've walked 4.23 miles.
And the scavenger hunt will tell you that it's 2.5 miles. So we obviously didn't do it in a very strategic way, Mr. Logistics.
It was cool, like I said earlier, the point of this is not to go find the ducks. The point is for you to get out and see the city and get some exercise, which that part of it's great. This isn't a how-to, this is a how we did it. And I think we've said this before, it's maybe a pattern, but
It's never a how-to.
don't do it like we did it.
Do better.
Do better.
Hi. How's it going today?
We just
Good.
did our duck hunt.
Huh?
We did our duck hunt.
Oh, you did? Oh, did you finish?
Yep.
Oh, you get a shuttle duck.
Nice.
Yeah. Are you so excited to get that?
I'm very excited.
Thank
Thank you, ladies.
Have a great day.
Let you have
Take care.
We did it.
We did it. 4.5 miles.
That should have been 2.5. We're a little hangry. We're gonna eat us a little Mexican because we can't quite make it home.
This has been a red letter day. Ate at Los Arcos in Minnesota and a couple other places. I don't think they're all the same, but so far anything that says Los Arcos is pretty awesome. Now that we're all stuffed and full, gonna head back to camp. I really hate it that I didn't get all my truck service stuff done. I really wanted to get the transmission service, but we're gonna get that handled next week. Just wanted to put that in front of you guys because if you're budgeting for a full-time experience, it's helpful to know that the cost of service is different in different places. It's something I never really thought about. I never thought it would be $1,800 to get the oil change and the transmission and the differentials and all that, but luckily we're gonna save some money going into a different state. But just kind of keep that in mind. Don't just take it in and drop it off. Call and get estimates first. Make sure you don't end up with the big bill you weren't expecting. Technicians are in short supply, so if you're out there and you're a diesel mechanic or maybe you're thinking about becoming one, I think those guys can write their own ticket. I think there's a shortage of mechanics as a whole, and those guys can kind of just name their price.
On down the road, send us a message to help educate us on train horns, like true trains and their horn. One short blast means pay attention. 2 short and 1 long means crossing. And as the train gets moving, it's 3 short blasts. They just didn't account for one other, which is Cody's excited about his train horn.
Are we on Williams Avenue? Because it says it wants me to cross the road here.
What did the lawyer say to the duck in court?
That it should be illegal to do this much walking on a Saturday.
I actually forgot what it was. Let me relook at it.
Where's my dot? Where am I at? Proof positive that she does it too.
Were you talking to it while I was in there?
I told you guys she does it too.
My mic was on. You're gonna like this one. You're gonna like it.
I can't wait.
Why did the duck go to jail?
Cross the road the wrong way or something?
He was selling crack. Quack. Wait a minute.
Let me try that one. Why did the duck go to jail?
He was selling quack.
He was selling quack.